Hey, I'm Brent Hall, and today I want to test out how the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 can handle long exposures and high ISO. And to do that, I'm going to see if I can go chase some lightning. So let's check it out. I'm going to use the drift method. Freaking incredible. Round F16 for that to get that sunburst. Alright, so I have no idea how well you can hear me or not, because it's kind of crappy outside, and also I'm behind a Walmart right now. But the reason why I'm out here is because I saw crazy clouds and lightning, and I want to try. So I've got my Galaxy Note 8 hooked up on top of my 1DX2, and I'm just gonna see how well the Galaxy Note 8 does with long exposure, with nighttime, and see if I can catch some lightning stuff. I've had to crank up. I've got it on 10-second shutter speed on the Note 8, and I've got the ISO at 100, and its base is 50. So it's a little over its base. So I'm gonna see and play around with the noise, and we'll see how well it does, especially compared to the 1DX with some L glass. So it's a good thing that the Note 8 is waterproof, and my 1D of course is definitely water resistant. It's sprinkling right now, so that's handy. Also, I've got both of them on a 2-second timer. For the Note 8, you can do a 2 or 10-second timer, which is actually the same as the built-in timers for the Canon DSLRs. So that's really handy as well. All right, so it's starting to come down a little harder now. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and let's take it in, check it out on the computer, and we'll do some comparisons. I'll put them up. All right, so we're back at the computer. As you may have noticed, it's actually like a week later. So I filmed this a week or so ago, and I had to put it on the back burner. But anyways, I've had a chance to look at the files, and let's jump on the computer, and I'll go through a little bit of the editing, and we'll kind of pixel peep and check out and compare the differences between the same composition, since I put it on top of the phone, of the Note 8 versus the 1DX2 with the better glass, and we'll kind of show you how well it's doing and how well it's not doing in certain areas. So let's check that out. Alright, so I'm here in Bridge. I've got all the DNG files from my phone pulled up here, and I have selected a few that have some lightning, and unfortunately I didn't get any actual bolts, but I did get some clouds lit up. So let's select those, and we'll open them up so that we can merge them in Photoshop, get the best lightning bang for our buck here. Alright, so I'm not really going to go over what I'm doing in this tutorial to get these blended and everything, but if you want to see that, then check up here for the link to my tutorial to show you how to do that. Alright, so this is the image here, the final image with, I think it had like 4 images or so blended, and as you can see we've got some nice lit up lightning clouds there, and everything else is looking okay, but this is still raw, so I haven't done anything else to this other than blended the images. And if you look in closely here, zoom in to 100%, you can see this is pretty noisy. Whoa. This is definitely pretty noisy, and this is only at ISO 200. So lots of noise in the blacks, a little bit of noise in the whites, and then you see all the movement here. That's because it was multiple 10-second exposures blended together. But you can see just tons of noise in this dark area, and this was only at ISO 200, so keep that in mind. Alright, so let's go into, I'm going to open this back up into Camera Raw and give it a little bit of TLC in here real quick. Okay, so I cleaned it up a little bit, and if you noticed, I put up the luminance noise reduction to about 25, and that's that's pretty significant, especially for an image that you would traditionally think of at ISO 200. Wouldn't need that. But again, like I said in my other video, don't compare ISOs from the phone to the respective ISOs of a DSLR, because that's just bad juju. The sensor sizes and everything are way different. Okay, so here is the final image. I could probably do a little more to it, but I don't really think that's necessary. You look in the dark areas, the noise is significantly reduced. However, it is still one thing about reducing the noise. It definitely makes it softer, so you'll see just an overall slight softer, and you could sharpen it, but again, sharpening will just reintroduce that noise, and I think for this sake, it's pretty decent. So now let's compare that to, whoa, how did that get there? Let's compare that to the image from the 1DX Mark II with the 1635 f4L lens. That's a big difference. So here you can notice, we'll zoom in, and there is just about a whole lot of zero noise. And I mean, I'm zoomed in at 300% right now, so that's just pixelation, that's not noise. There, 100% zoomed in. And we'll go here, 100% zoomed in. So let's look at, whoops, sorry. Let's look at these blacks. So there and there. And this is the same quadrant. So Note 8, 1DX Mark II. Note 8. Okay, so there's zoomed out again and zoomed out again. So 1DX Mark II, Note 8. 1D, Note. 1D, Note. Alright, so that's it for this video. I think there's not really too much else to show. I think the results kind of speak for themselves. I do think that it is really cool that we can finally start to do stuff like this. We get RAW, we get 10-second exposures. Although one little gripe, I don't understand why the heck Samsung stopped it at 10-second maximum exposure. There are other phones out there that do 30-second exposure. I mean, that's a simple coding feature. That's a simple, you put a 3 instead of a 1. You know, you make it 30 instead of 10. I don't know why they limited it. That drives me nuts, and that really hurts its ability to do actual night photos. Yeah, this was night, but there was also lightning, and I was in a parking lot, and it was still fairly bright outside. But if you actually wanted to do like star shots and Milky Way shots and stuff like that with this phone, I don't think it's gonna cut it for that kind of stuff. I will still continue to use the Note 8 for night stuff, especially like one area that I'm gonna test it out that I haven't played with yet, but I'll do another video on that, is long exposures like in cities and towns and stuff like that, where you can get the cars moving by and the bright lights of the cities. I think 10-second exposure will definitely be long enough for that kind of stuff. And another thing you'll notice, if you remember my settings, I only did it up to ISO 200. So all that noise that I showed you, that was only from ISO 200. And this guy can go up to ISO 800. So if you see that noise, imagine what it's going to look like at ISO 800, especially at 10 seconds. You're going to see a lot more noise. And for me, unless I just really need that shot and I don't have anything else, that's just not acceptable. So I'm going to try to keep it as low as possible. You can also do image stacking, which I kind of started to do, but I really only did a blending mode, so that's not really the same thing. But you could theoretically do image stacking, and that'd help reduce the noise. But again, that's a whole nother level of technical that I'm not even going to bother getting into in this video. Alright, so I hope this video kind of helped you get a better handle on doing low light and longer exposure photography with the Note 8. And I will definitely be doing a few more like this, just trying to, I'll push it a little harder in some of those and test it out in different scenarios and with lighting and without lighting and stuff like that. So if you like this kind of stuff and you want to see more, definitely make sure you subscribe to my channel. And also, if you really want to learn more and take that learning to the next level, go check out my Patreon channel. The link's in the description below. If you have any questions or comments about things you want to see or missed or technical anything, make sure you leave those in the comments below and I will get back to them as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.